A, B, C, D. All right, Heather said we can start. Good evening, and welcome to our community meeting. I know I'm trying to figure out where most of the people are here. I got a few. I know these people, so I'll speak to this group. So we welcome to our community meeting tonight, where we will be viewing and showing you proposed maps of the district based on the demerger. And I want to make sure I let you know these are proposed maps. This is why tonight I want you to be able to review these. Mr. Ward's group will share with you the maps. There are going to be computers over there to go to see. You can put your address in and see what school you'll be going to. But like I said, these are proposed maps tonight, so I appreciate you being here. I do want to recognize a few people. I see Mr. Davis, thank you for coming. Mr. Lamb, Vice Chair. And Dr. Washington, can you open up real quick? And Dr. Washington is chair of the board, and I know she would like to say something. And then Mr. Ward, if you want to come up after that.
Thank you, Dr. Ellis. Good evening, and thank you for coming out. The reason that we are having these meetings is because we care about what concerns you. So we have a small group, but size doesn't matter. If you have a question, please make sure you ask it, because we can't make informed decisions as a board on behalf of the kids and stakeholders if we don't know how you're feeling. So feel welcome, relax, and thank you for coming out again.
Thank you, Dr. Ellis, and thank you, Madam Chair. I'm Victor Ward, Sr., Director for Transition and Safety. Part of my position will be to discuss the proposed boundaries here tonight. So we're trying something a little different here than we did Monday night. I was doing a lot of pacing, and I think more people was watching my finger than they were watching the screen. So I want to thank our technology department. I put in a request to see if they were able to do it, and they worked wonders. So thank you to Mr. McQueen and his technology department for accommodating my request. All right. So tonight I'm going to be presenting so you can focus on the screen. So you'll see a little mouse going across the screen as I'm making reference to a boundary or a school zone. But before I begin, you can scan here this QR code to submit questions as I'm presenting, or you can wait until the end. At the end, you also have the opportunity to come over to these computers and plug in your address, your current address, and we'll give you your school for the 24-25 school year, your attended zone for the 24-25 school year. Okay. And again, hopefully, many of the questions that you may have will be answered throughout the presentation. And again, if not, use this QR code. So I'll just wait about another 10 or 15 seconds if you have not had the opportunity to scan it. And then we'll put it back up at the end as well. Okay, let's see how this works. Ah, yes. Okay, growing forward together. This has been our campaign since the beginning. What this signifies is that us growing this demerger, Nash County and Edgecombe County, that we're going to continue to grow forward together in this process as we go. We've gone through different phases of the process, phase one, and now we're in the process of going through phase two of this process, working alongside Edgecombe County, but internally, working with the school board, working with the superintendent's cabinet, and working with the public now through this public engagement. We're all going to grow forward together. And so we'd like to think that this isn't something that we're doing in isolation, but we're doing together, not to you, but with you. Community forums, this is just one of, well, this is the second one. The first one we had was Monday night at Winstead Avenue. So this is our second forum that we're conducting to engage the community in this process. Our agenda will include key terms, the Growing Forward Together journey, the Senate bills, timeline, integrated planning, which is IPSAC, the top 5 objectives driving the reassignment process, and proposed maps for elementary, middle, and high schools, proposed feeder patterns, and at the end we will have Q&A, and of course, again, we will have the opportunity for you to look up your address at the conclusion of this presentation. So key terms, these are going to be very important. As you hear me speak tonight, I will be using these terms. So I wanted you to know what these terms mean. And so you won't have to guess in terms of, when I'm speaking about them, have an idea of what I'm talking about. So when we're talking about feeder patterns, this is the sequence of schools that students are assigned to as they progress from elementary to middle school and high school. In Nash County's case, students progress to the same secondary school as their elementary or middle schools. In other cases, they may progress to a different school, and you're going to see that tonight. Neighborhood schools, that's pretty much self-explanatory. School attendance zone. This is a geographic area comprising of residences assigned to public school. If a student's home address is inside a school boundary, they are assigned to attend that school. What is a boundary? It's a geographical area that determines a school's assignment. It's also called an attendance zone. So you will hear me use that term tonight, attendance zone. School repurposing means consolidating a school and using the facility for another purpose or program. In the context of Nash County, Williford Elementary School will become a pre-K learning center and school and continue to house what we call the NETA, which is our Nash Everywhere Digital Academy, and will house the Teacher Resource Center, which is currently located on Fairview Road. Utilization. This is expressed as a percentage of utilization is determined by dividing the student enrollment by the total capacity. And when I get to the charts, summary charts, you will see that. If a school is overutilized, the number of students enrolled exceeds its capacity. And if a school is underutilized, there are more seats available than students are enrolled. Reassignment is moving a student or staff member to a different class, grade, or school. And capacity, that is the total number of students that a school can accommodate. If a school is overutilized, student enrollment is greater, which I just read up there. If a school is underutilized, the enrollment is less than the capacity. For Nash County Public Schools, we use what we call the SRC, which is the state-rated capacity, to determine schools' capacity. These are just some photos of what we do here in Nash County Schools, just capturing, how we're growing forward together. And most importantly, these faces right here, those little ones, our children, is why we're in this business and the most important objective. Okay, what is demerger? If you've never been to one of our meetings when we started this back in August, working with Edgecombe County, and I'll explain this a little bit more in detail later. Demerger means separating a unified educational entity into distinct parts of a school system. This could involve dividing a large district into smaller ones with their administration, governance, and programs. Demerging aims to decentralize decision-making, improve efficiency, address educational outcomes, which is our purpose, and create more manageable units, which is our purpose too. So again, just growing forward together in this process after 30 years of being consolidated and then demerging. Okay, just to provide you with a little legislation in terms of what brought us together back in 1991 with the consolidation of Rocky Mount City Schools and merged with Nash County Public Schools. That was Senate Bill 612 that brought the two school districts together back in 1991. And fast forwarding to 2016, this was the legislation that pretty much prompted demerger in terms of the name change of the school system, changing it from Nash Rocky Mount Schools to Nash County Public Schools. And then more recently with Senate Bill 248, this law was just passed back in July, mind you, of 2023, calling for the demerger of Nash County Public Schools and Edgecombe County Public School System. So I just want to emphasize a little bit about the most current legislation, which was Senate Bill 248. Section 3A stated that a previous law from 2016 was now canceled. The names of the Nash Rocky Mount School Administrative Unit and Board of Education are officially changed to Nash School Administrative Unit and Nash Board of Education, respectively. Over here to 3B, the school boards of Nash and Edgecombe counties, along with their county government leaders, must create a detailed plan by November the 15th, 2023. This plan will outline how they will handle transferring a part of the Nash County School Administrative Unit that is in Edgecombe County to Edgecombe County Public School System. And those buildings or schools that were transferred was D.S. Johnson, Baskerville, Parker, and Fairview Elementary School. and our teacher resource center in one of our child nutrition facilities. Coming down here to section 3C, if they don't submit the plan by the deadline, which was November the 15th of this year, the State Board of Education will step in and prepare the necessary transfer plan by December 31st. Fortunately, we were able to have our plan in by November the 15th to DPI for their approval. Again, this was in collaboration with Nash and the Edgecombe County Boards of Education and Nash and Edgecombe County Boards of Commissioners. This here just represents a timeline from August up into January, just giving you a little background information of how we've been working within our own district, and also collaborating with Edgecombe County in terms of trying to demerge and then start working on phase 2 of our redistricting or attendance zones plan. And this is just a little bit more detail coming into March. After January, in terms of our actions and action steps that we have taken since March. And again, all of this is online for you to view after this meeting as well. So I will not go through all the dates, but I will press forward and come up to now where we are. April 17th, which is this community forum. April 22nd through the 26th, we'll determine which positions may be ripped, and what we mean by that, we're talking about personnel. Monday, April the 29th, the Board of Education will have a committee meeting where they will have more information from ORED, which is Operational Resource of Education, which is the consulting company that's working with us through this process. They will hear more from them and also receive more information about the demerger and the opportunity to hear more information about the maps as well. May 1st, there will be a joint meeting with Nash County Commissioners and our Board of Education to discuss the upcoming budget. Monday, May 6th, we will seek board approval for the proposed attendance zones, which we're going to discuss tonight. It will also seek board approval for positions that may be reduced if need be. So IPSAC, which is Integrated Planning for School and Community, this is the consulting company that we're working with in terms of these proposed boundaries. Just to let you know, their methodology, their data-driven and policy-based model for forecasting schools enrollment and determining the optimal locations for new schools in those attendance zones, which is our focus. So a little bit about what we'll be talking about: enrollment forecasting, looking at county growth impact, youth studies, and most importantly, attendance boundary optimization. So there were 5 objectives that drove this plan, or is driving this reassignment plan. These are very important because as I'm speaking to you tonight and sharing the maps with you, I would like for you to keep these 5 objectives ingrained in your mind, and I'll refer back to them as I'm speaking as well. So 1 was to create assignments for students affected by the school closures. Again, those 4 school closures, Baskerville, D.S. Johnson Parker, and Fairview, and also with the closure of, well, not the closure, but the reconfiguration of Edwards Middle School to a K-5 school. So also manage configuration changes, including the conversion of the schools from kindergarten through 2nd grade through 5th grade. That's impacting 2 schools. That's Winstead Avenue in Inglewood. Of course, currently, Winstead Avenue is a K-2 school, and Inglewood is a 3-5. Both schools, upon the proposal, will become K-5 schools. Number 3, balanced utilization across elementary schools. Consider feeder patterns as much as possible. Operative word, consider patterns as much as possible, and use natural boundaries for attendance zones, lines when feasible. So please keep that in mind as I'm presenting. Okay, this is the proposed elementary map, and as I'm using the cursor, if you will follow me, as I'm outlining the boundaries. So the dark blue that you see on the map, the boundaries, the lines rather, are our current school boundaries for elementary schools. So all of this blue here, outline that is, represents our current school boundaries within this area. Okay. All right. This area over here This line here is the dividing point, the railroad track that divides Nash and Edgecombe counties. This area over here represents the current D.S. Johnson, Fairview school zones in Baskerville. Baskerville, D.S. Johnson, and Fairview. So, with the closure, or the transfer, wrong term, with the transfer of D.S. Johnson, Fairview, and Baskerville in Parker to Edgecombe County, then it becomes a question of where do the kids on the Nash County side will attend school. So, where you see the colors here represents boundaries or the districts. So if you can see the color, this peach looking color here, purple, this gray and blue and yellow. So starting here with this peach color here represents Benvenue Elementary School. So Benvenue's current boundary runs here, runs north here, the Eagle's Head, as you can see what I call the Eagle's Head, and coming around here, this blue line, and that blue line right there. So represents Benvenue's current boundary. Now Benvenue will now absorb the students on the Nash County side from D.S. Johnson and Baskerville, picking up this segment down here, which was formerly Baskerville, shared with D.S. Johnson, picking up this segment here, and extending here, which is their current boundary, and extending west here to pick up some students here from Nashville Elementary School. So again, Benvenue picking up Baskerville's boundaries, extending here, coming down, picking up Baskerville's current boundary here, D.S. Johnson, crossing over here, which is Benvenue's current boundary, and extending here to absorb a small population here from Nashville Elementary School, extending west a little bit. But at the same time, they will be, this section here will be absorbed by Inglewood. So, all right. I always give a moment to process once okay. Now the purple and the blue here represents Inglewood and Winstead. So if you follow me, the boundary here represents the current boundary with Winstead and Inglewood sharing this boundary. There's currently this massive territory right here, all of this area here, coming this way, down this border here, back up, and then coming back up 301. This right here is the dividing point of 301 between the blue and the yellow, and then coming this way. So that's currently shared by Inglewood and Winstead. So with both schools being reconfigured to K5 to separate the school zones, the railroad tracks that run right here along this pathway will now be the boundary line. Keep in mind we're using natural boundaries to create school zones when feasible. So the railroad tracks here will create a school zone for Winstead here and Inglewood here. Okay. So with that, extending west, remember that this is Winstead's current boundary here. So a part of that segment or boundary would extend westward, picking up an area here from Nashville Elementary. Okay. Now I'm going to travel back east a little bit. This area here in the yellow, this represents Williford's current boundary. If you follow the cursor, here, represents Williford Elementary's current boundary. And so with the reconfiguration of Edwards Middle School becoming Edwards Elementary, here, those students there will attend Edwards Elementary School, and this creates a new zone using 301, again, as a boundary line here to create the school zone for Edwards Elementary School. And these little polygons here that look a little odd in the middle, these were just satellite districts that fed into Baskerville and a few to Fairview as well. So, but anyway, this community here will be attending Edwards Elementary. Okay, traveling west, of course, we see Nashville, current boundary. Again, with Winstead coming westward a little bit, they will be taking this area here that will extend into Winstead Avenue, and this area here, which will extend into Bienvenue's district here. Okay. So I'll give you a moment just to process, and then I'll move to the middle school. Oh, I meant to ask parents, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me, parents? Okay. I've been dealing with some voice issues here lately, so I didn't. Okay. So this chart here just represents the current makeup of our schools by percent for each of the elementary schools, Bienvenue, Inglewood, Nashville Elementary, and Winstead Avenue Elementary Schools. Again, if you can't see the numbers, you will be able to pull this up on your computers when you get home, or on your cell phones. It is online for your viewing as well. So this is current as of 4/11, this makeup here in terms of the student body for each school. And this is proposed. Again, if you think about the capacity, what I said earlier in defining what that meant, proposed utilization is for 89%. And keep in mind, as I'm talking about these proposed utilizations, ideal is 95%, not to exceed as much as we can, based on the analysis by ORED, not to exceed 95%. So the proposal here is the capacity that Bienvenue, picking up the students from Baskerville area and some from Nashville. In Baskerville, capacity will put them at 668. That's if the current students, based on the numbers that were submitted to ORED, remains the same. So projection for the that's their capacity. 596 will be the projected enrollment for them if those numbers stay the same at 89%. Minority students, 537 at 90%. At Edwards, 600 proposed, or projected rather. At utilization, 76% and 93%. Minority students. Inglewood, 477 at 94%. Remember, they're close. Minority, 409, 409, 86%. Nashville, 568 at 83%. 342, 60%. Winstead, 548, 88%. 385, and 70%. And I just want to say these numbers were not used, or this data rather is not used for any scenarios, map scenarios, to comprise of any scenarios put together here. This data is not used for that. It's just for context purposes only. Okay, middle school. This area up here, this orange looking, is that orange? Yeah, okay. This is currently Red Oak Middle, so we're going to come down here to the impacted boundaries over here. Again, the yellow represents current boundaries. So following my cursor, if you will follow the cursor, this boundary here, coming this way, coming back on eastern side of Rocky Mount, represents Parker Middle School, current boundary. Right here in the middle, currently represents Rocky Mount Middle's current boundary. And coming here along this border, coming back this way, represents Edwards Middle School's current boundary. And coming west, coming along 64, coming back down here, represents Nash Central Middle School's current boundary. Okay, and of course, the colors from the key represents those current boundaries as well. So keeping in mind with the loss of Parker Middle School, which is this boundary here, and with Edwards, which is this boundary here, becoming an elementary school, part of the absorption or students will be coming to Rocky Mount Middle School, of course, and part of the students coming here will be picked up by Nash Central Middle School. So the purple now represents, or lavender, represents the new boundary for Rocky Mount Middle School, picking up Parker and parts of Edwards' former boundary, or current boundary, that is. So that's the impact in this area here. There's no impact to Red Oak or coming down to the southern end as well. So Nash Central Middle School. So not to overload or have Rocky Mount Middle School over capacity, Nash Central Middle School would pick up this area, which is formerly or currently Edwards' boundary here. And again, Rocky Mount Middle School is picking up this section here and parts of it down here. And now you do see this little extension here that was part of one of our current boundaries. It will extend outside the current boundary to pick up a small segment of students down here for Rocky Mount Middle School. So again, just the data as of 4/11 representing the makeup of the schools. And of the 4 middle schools, of course, you can see the projected numbers, 682, putting Nash Central Middle School at 102% capacity, Red Oak Middle at 99% capacity, Rocky Mount Middle at 93% capacity, and Southern Nash Middle School at 93%. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of movement here or options here within the 4 middle schools. So we're even exceeding or right there on the proposed utilization number. Okay. This is our high school proposed scenario. The red line represents our current school boundaries, which is this one here is Rocky Mount High School, coming around this way and going here, current Rocky Mount High School. And over here, this boundary here represents Nash Central High School, the purple. So the shift or the change is going to come here as we come around. We'll see that Rocky Mountain is now picking up this area here, which is currently Nash Central High School. So that boundary line using a natural boundary again, this is 301. That will be that natural boundary used to shift this population here, these students here, over to Rocky Mount High School. And here's the makeup of the schools again for each high school. So Nash Central High School, current projected number is 818, putting them at a proposed utilization of 71%. Northern Nash High School, projected numbers 1179, putting them at 103%. And Rocky Mount, 995, 72%. And Southern Nash High School at 107%. So graphically, this represents the proposed feeder patterns for the district, if approved. Baskerville, D.S. Johnson, and Fairview will feed into Benvenue and Edwards Elementary School, and then feed into Rocky Mount Middle School, and then feed into Rocky Mount High School. For Williford, it will feed into Rocky Mount Middle and Rocky Mount High School. For Parker students that are going to Rocky Mount Middle School, of course, then they would feed directly into Rocky Mount High School. Bienvenue feeder will look like for middle school, Nash Central Middle, Red Oak, and Rocky Mount Middle, and then on to Nash Central High School, Northern Nash, and Rocky Mount. Edwards Elementary, Rocky Mount Middle, Rocky Mount High School. Inglewood Elementary, Nash Central Middle, Rocky Mount Middle, Nash Central High School, Rocky Mount High School. Nashville Elementary, Nash Central Middle, Red Oak Middle, then to Nash Central High School, and then Northern Nash High School. Winstead, Nash Central Middle, Rocky Mount Middle, Nash Central High School, Rocky Mount High School. And that brings us to our Q&A session. At this time, again, if you would like to submit a question through the QR code, and also we will open the floor up for any questions from the floor from parents.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ward, and thank you for everyone who's here this evening, and to the 72 viewers, and about 143 people have been viewing this live this evening, so we appreciate that. Please, I'm going to go back on the QR code. If you have questions, we will not be able to answer all of them this evening. However, we are collecting those questions, and we'll get back to you if you leave your email address. And we will be posting them on our website in a Q&A portion. So this is the QR code. I'll leave this up for a second and go ahead and start asking some questions or answering some questions that we have received so far. The top question has been, I know Mr. Ward reiterated this earlier, has been, when will we find out? So again, as he and Dr. Ellis and Dr. Washington said, these are proposed maps, and the plan would be for the Board of Education, the Nash County Public Schools Board of Education would come to a vote on Monday, May 6th. If these maps are passed, the idea would be that families would be notified in mid-May, and they would first receive a letter from central office from superintendent, followed by correspondence from their schools. Oops. I'm now going to go to another QR code. This QR code is for the Bus Planner app. Once you pull up the Bus Planner, I'm going to leave this here for about 10 seconds. You will be able to select the 24-25 school year, put your address in, and see your child's academic year for next year. So if they're in 5th grade, be sure to put 6th grade. For next year, you'll see where your child will be able to go next year. Now, it's very important to remember that sometimes your child's demographic information is not your current address. So please check with your school. If you think that you're impacted, to check in Power School that your address is right for it. It's called demographic address in Power School. And that's what's pulled to determine where you are when it comes to Bus Planner. So if you have the Bus Planner link pulled up right now, you'll select school year 2024, excuse me, not 2020, not that again, 2024 to 2025 boundaries. And you can either select a school if you're curious, or you'll click on which school do I attend, and then populate your address. One of the questions we'll receive a couple of times are there plans for information nights for students affected by the reassignment? So most schools plan to hold information nights affected, but that's going to be determining on what school it is. So we encourage you when this proposed plan or plan is passed, pay attention to your email, text, or voice call from the principal or communication that you should receive in the mail about what that information should entail. That will be handled at each school differently. And as always, there's open house nights as well in the beginning of the new year. Another question is, how will elective and core class assignments be completed for students who have to be reassigned? The assignment of elective and core courses for reassigned students will be managed. I know that some of the students have already signed up for classes, but those have not been processed yet, especially if you're going over into high school. So schools will work with students' preferences as much as possible within the constraints of available courses, and more information will be coming out about that. Roughly how many students are impacted? It's roughly close to 1,000. It's not as much as, it's not the whole district, and that's a big thing to remember. This is part of eastern Nash County, not the north, not the southern side. It's part of the eastern part of the county. A few questions came in about if siblings are together, why would they be separated? As a single parent, that complicates things. So the district aims to keep siblings together when possible. So if that's something that does come up, and that's a situation that does occur, it's advisable to discuss them directly with your school administrators to find a suitable solution that minimizes disruption for your family. Will this affect Nash County Public Schools employees who have a child in the school district? This question in particular was a parent who is a TA and a bus driver who wants to have their child to go to any school. I believe there is already a process to that. Policy 4150. Yep. Ooh. And so just Nash County Public Schools policies generally provide some flexibility for employees' children regarding school assignments, particularly for those involved in critical roles like TAs and teachers and bus drivers and such. So please be sure to check out that information on the website and contact that department. How does the zoning change affect school bus routing? All existing bus routes will be reviewed and reassigned, of course, because they're going into a new year, just as they reroute things every summer going into the new academic year and getting new students, getting new addresses. A lot of questions were asked regarding utilization percentages and the movement of students. There's one thing to remember. If you live in Nash County, what do you recognize right now? There's a lot of growth. So we have our neighbors to Wake County, and we're experiencing a lot of rezoning, a lot of development, and a heavy amount of growth and a big boom of economic development. And with that, that's change, which means there's more people, there's more children. So this is the beginning of some changes, and we'll get through this together. And that's why it's important to have events like this and for you all to submit your questions so we can communicate and be involved as we all go through this process. A question came in about how earlier in the demerger conversations, we were looking to have a true middle school feeder for each high school. And right now, it does not look to be the case. So we all have goals and set goals, correct? And sometimes we have to make adjustments when we're trying to achieve those goals. So with ORAD, who through the state, which helped us put together this proposed plan, by looking at the neighborhoods and boundaries and everything that Mr. Ward reiterated earlier in the presentation, achieving a perfect alignment of middle school feeders to high schools can be challenging due to geographical, demographic, and capacity constraints. So Nash County Public Schools will continuously work to optimize feeder patterns, but also must consider practical limitations and the need to balance school populations effectively. Which middle school will get the dual language program? So currently, I believe that's at Edwards Middle School, correct? And Southern Nash Middle School. So the Edwards Middle School dual language program will roll over to Rocky Mountain Middle School. So it will be Southern Nash Middle and Rocky Mountain Middle School. So I'm going to open the floor to allow, does anyone have any questions in the audience? Feel free to come on down, or I can bring the mic to you. Okay, and I'll just repeat back the question so people at home can hear it.
As I was noticing, my daughter is the only one that's affected by the new boundaries proposed, whatever. And I'm trying to figure out why, being where we are at, you're going to send my daughter, who is 5 minutes up the street from Nashville Elementary, all the way across town to Winstead Avenue, which is 15 minutes away.
Are you at the second roundabout? Did you submit a question that's near the second roundabout over on the road? Okay, sorry. We had several of those. Okay. Mr. Ward? The question was regarding the mother lives 5 minutes away from Nashville Elementary and has been reassigned to Winstead Avenue.
Yeah, we recognize that, and again, we are in a unique situation with the demerger and bringing in 4 schools. So we know that this is not going to be a seamless or perfect reassignment plan, but it's what we have right now in terms of looking at capacity and looking at utilization of schools for those elementary schools. And based on the analysis by the consultants, this was the best or the most proposed outcomes for that. So yes, you're right. You're looking at distance, and sometimes we try to look at minimizing distance as a part of that. But what makes this so challenging is that we're bringing in those 4 schools, and so adjustments have to be made in terms of not trying to overutilize one particular school and try to make adjustments for another.
Well, here's the thing. Based off of your projected numbers, the utilization for Nashville Elementary is lower than the other ones. And with us being on that little cuspus edge, why is it that you're still sending her to a school that's more utilized with a higher percentage of attendance than it is there? You're looking at 77% or in the 70 percentages for Nashville Elementary, where the school that she's going to be going to is going to be like in the 80s and 90 percentages. That doesn't make any sense. Also, when you have 3 kids in one in high school, middle school, and in elementary school, it's not conducive when the buses aren't always on time, or it doesn't have a driver at all, that you have to drive here, then drive all the way here, all the way across town in the opposite direction, then come all the way back to the middle school, just to hope and pray that you get there on time based off of the car lines. Because I come here in the morning by 6:50 to drop my eldest off. Then I have to go to Nashville Elementary, which is only like 5-6 minutes from here. Then I have to go up the street 2-3 minutes to the Nashville Nash Central Middle School. And then I can go home. Whereas your projected plans are now wanting me to come here, then rush 10-15 minutes across town to that elementary school, then drive about another 15-20 minutes back to the middle school just to drop off my middle child. That doesn't make any sense, and it's not conducive to parents that also have to be there on time to work, especially with bus drivers and not having buses at all. Like, for instance, this year, just today, we had 3 buses that weren't operational for this afternoon. So I had to actually come here to the school to pick up my eldest. Whereas my middle child, he was on the brink of not having a bus driver either. So make
Well, I can't speak of the adding up, I mean, because it's never going to add up. But what I would suggest you do, thank you for your comments. What I would suggest you do is if you put your suggestions in the QR code and submit that to us, please. And with your contact information. And that's the purpose of here tonight, to engage and to listen to you. So I heard everything you said, but I can't remember everything you said. So if you would please put that information, submit that information, please.
But I also got one other question.
Oh,
We would like to stay at our current location. Are we allowed to do so? Because like I said, it's more conducive for me and my daughter to stay where she's at. She's got a good rapport with the teachers
Right.
also, and with her
Right.
disabilities, it's literally more conducive.
there's a process for that, which governs that. That's policy 4150. That's called the student reassignment. So you have the opportunity to utilize that. Okay. What's that? The form? No, that form is online. It's up under the well, if you search student reassignment, I think it's up under. You should be able to pull it up online. Or it's in the Scribbles. It's in Scribbles now, right? Website. Yes, it's through Scribbles, but you can still just plug that in. It should come up.
Is there any kind of grandfather clause where, like, my son's going into 5th grade
Right.
here, and he's been at Nashville Elementary the entire time he's been in school, so is that something that would?
Those types of concessions, our board will take that into consideration at their next meeting. Yeah, let us pull it up for you. Can we pull it up real quick so we can give you a visual?
Would you mind exiting out of the presentation and going to Nash County Public or ncpsschools.net? We have one too many W's. Actually, on the right-hand side, you see transfer information at the bottom in the gray. Right there. Oh, I have a mouse. Yes, I do. Here we go. So right here is all the transfer requests, and I'm going to scroll down. Oops, sorry. I'm not left-handed. So this is a step-by-step process explaining the transfer process. And there's different videos that explains how to create an account if you don't have one already, how do you add your child to the account, and submitting an application, and what documents you would need to be uploaded, and additional contact information. You will need to have your child's Power School number to do that. And again, we have that in multiple locations, but on this right-hand side, we call this toggles. So it's right there. And if you pull it up on your cell phone, it's it's hidden. Just tap on the right-hand side and it pops right out.
Yeah, I was just going to answer that question. So, ma'am, I was going to ask you the question. When I stood up here the first time, I said proposed. Okay, hang on. I'm just telling you. What we need you to do is, because we've had a few board members with the same questions, but when you look at the utilization, just remember when those kids go, there's a middle school that's at 102%. Nashville's growing. So that's where it gets kind of, yeah. But that question's been brought up by board members. Make sure you put it in there because these are proposed. That's a good idea. But just remember, and Mr. Ward, we stress this, you got to really look at the whole picture because I'm telling you, it's growing. And that's what, when ORED came in, we're trying our best to figure out where this growth is going to be because this can't be the only time we do these lines because we're going to have to come back to it shortly. Okay? So just make sure you let us know because we've been already asked about that, and that'll be something we're going to present to the board with all those questions about these maps, okay?
And the form looks like this. So and the schools that are impacted are included here. And just please be sure, a lot of people are submitting wonderful questions. They're not leaving their email address, so I can't really figure out who they are. But so please just leave your email address, that would be great. Or a contact number, if you don't have an email. Yes, Mr. Sharp.
Yes, all of this is online.
Oh,
Yeah, this presentation is online. They have access to it. Yes, sir. What? Yes, they do. They do. The public has access. Yes, ma'am. Well, we try to be honest. Yes, ma'am. Capacity? No. I think Rocky Mount would be in the 70s after this proposal, maybe. 72%, yes. Yes, ma'am. And again, keep in mind, when we talk about proposed utilization, these numbers are if there's no movement over the summer. This is based on the current number of students that we have right now, that when we presented this data to ORED or to our consultants. So these percentages could shift a little, possibly. Baskerville, again, I don't want to tell you for sure, but Baskerville is going to go to Bienvenue, depending on where your address is, where you're located. There's a segment of Baskerville that's right there on the border, so between Bienvenue and I think the Winstead zone. So if you look on the map, you'll see that, plug in your address, and you'll see exactly where you're going. But for the most part, it should be Bienvenue. Edwards Elementary. Edwards will be an elementary school next year? Right. She's at Baskerville, what grade? 4th grade, so she'll still be elementary next year, okay. So yes, if you would like to attend Edwards Elementary School, you would do the student reassignment form or go through the student reassignment request process. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So, right. So, yeah, they're Carolina challenges. I do. I've seen them. We've seen them, and we're aware of that. All of that. Trust me, we are aware. And right. And sachet in between, yeah. What? Yes. So, yeah, but go back to your question. If you want to find out exactly which school zone you're in based on your address, you can plug that in before you leave, or we can assist you with it. Okay. If I heard you correctly, you said to transfer to another boundary? Right. Gotcha. Okay. I think the deadline is June 1st. Did we say that deadline, Dr. Farrell?
June 1st is the deadline if they want to submit an appeal if they're denied.
If they're denied. Okay.
You can submit a transfer request at any point.
Okay. So submit the transfer at any point during the school year, but June 1st is the deadline for an appeal if you're denied. So at this point, sitting here today, you can submit that transfer request if you're impacted. Yeah, I tell you what,
The other thing to be reminded of is that you don't want to put a transfer in at this point and you're not aware of what the attendance lines are going to be. You really need to wait until the Board of Education meeting on May 5th, 6th, when that board meeting happens and a decision is made, and then you see what the true attendance lines are before you submit a request for transfer.
I saw two hands up, which, yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring you the mic because they can't hear you down here.
Wow. You have a 7:30, you have a 8 o'clock, and you have a 8:30. What will the change be?
It's the elementary question.
7:30 is high school, 8 o'clock is middle. No, elementary, 8:30 is middle. What, will there be a change
We're
in
not
time?
changing there are no changes. We're not changing our bill schedule, thank you. There are no changes to the bill schedule.
Okay, all right.
My question is, for the kids that are going to,
Can you use the mic, please? They can't hear you down here.
they can't hear my loud voice.
No, they can't.
Fine. For the parents that have kids going to the reading remedial over the summer, will this impact them as far as where they're going to go to actually take their summer school?
I have my lovely colleague right here, the handsome Miss Monique Hargrove Jones.
I just want to clarify, you are talking about an elementary child, correct?
Yes.
So for this summer, we will be servicing some students in 2nd and 3rd grade. As usual, we always pick certain sites, and they all go, so they don't go to summer school at their home school. So that won't change. They'll still go to certain sites if they remain in Nash County. Students that are with Edgecombe County will do summer school with Edgecombe County this year.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
Yes, ma'am.
So Winstead, there's no longer K through 2?
If these scenarios are approved, Winstead will be reconfigured to a K-5 school along with Inglewood. They will both be K-5 schools.
Okay.
Okay, but they don't even wear uniforms in elementary right now in Nash County.
Right, that's a school-based decision
So,
based on the survey.
let's ask, people are still watching.
That's a question that came in.
Yeah. So people are asking about elementary school uniforms, and that is a school-based decision. I'm getting no's from the audience. And yes to uniforms at Rocky Mount Middle School. Correct?
All middle schools wear uniforms, but in elementary school, it is a school-based decision based on a survey, a submitted survey. So, but all middle schools are still in uniforms. Board, That is governed by our board policy.
May I make a clarifying point? As it stands right now, the only elementary school that will be in uniform next year is M.B. Hubbard, and that school is not impacted by the demerger at all.
Mr. Ward, one of the questions we just received online, and I think you answered this earlier, but instead of using natural boundaries, could we consider using mileage or distance? If the proposed maps are passed, my son will no longer be able to attend his current school that's only 2.5 miles from our home. He will have to commute 11 miles.
That is not currently in line with our objectives, using that as a boundary, no.
Okay, so we have some computers set up over here, but y'all can enter your address in. Thank you so much for those who were watching at home, and thank you all for who are coming out this evening, or who came out this evening. Have a good night and drive safely. Thank you.